Can you believe it is nearly the end of 2023? And do you know what time it is? It is the time to review how well our reading is in this year. Hi guys, this is Stan here. Today let's talk about how our reading is in 2023. I have prepared 8 questions/tags for you to analyze how well your reading is this year. Feel free to use it if you find them useful, or you could put your answers in the comment when you're watching it. So the first tag is the first book you have finished in 2023. In the very beginning of 2023, I have decided to reread The Wheel of Time because last time when I read it, I paused it on the 3rd book. So very logically, the first book I have finished in 2023 is The Eye of the World by Robert Jordan. Who don't know what Wheel of Time is if you're into fantasy books? This series, Wheel of Time, got 15 books if you count the prequel. It is about the Chosen One, the Dragon Reborn, defeat the Evil One, which is the Dark One, and his Forsakens. I am glad that I have restarted this series because I love the following books, and this time I didn't stop at book 3, I go much further than that. I've got 7 or 8 books left in the series, which I'm quite happy about the number. So the second tag is the books that you would like to finish before the end of 2023. Time is running out and we only got around 10 days left in this year. So the book that I would like to finish before the end of the year, preferably it will be a standalone because I don't want to left any breadcrumb for this year. The book I've picked up for this tag is The Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wang. I didn't know much about this book, but I know that everybody loving it. I think it is a self-published book in the very beginning, and since it got popularity, it even got like a Kickstarter project to produce a lovely special hardback edition. I believe this is a Asian, particularly Japanese-inspired military fantasy. I don't know much about this book because I haven't started it yet, but roughly I think it is about a warrior to try to defend his place, and also a retired mom who is also a fighter to pick up the old job. Because of so many positive reviews on Goodreads, I really can't wait to pick this book up and finish it before the end of the year. So the next tag is your favorite book of the year. I know that it is a really difficult situation because it is never be easy to pick a book that you like. It is really hard for me as well because by the end of the year, I have read some really good books. If I can only pick one particular book, I think I will go for Yumi and the Nightmare Painter by Brandon Sanderson. This is the 3rd book of his Kickstarter secret project, and it got a brief connection to the Cosmere as a whole. And in this book, we follow 2 main characters, Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, Nikaro. Yumi is the really religious girl who needs to perform rituals to the spirits, and the painter, Nikaro, is a nightmare hunter who gonna hunt down the nightmare. One day, all of a sudden, they swap the bodies, which means that Yumi physically being in the painter's world, but painter, his conscious was in Yumi's body, so they swap places. Since then, they have to figure out what actually is going on and how to put things back to normal. The first thing I really like about the book is the setting, especially in Painter's world. There's always neon lights everywhere, which I think really vivid and cool. And I also really like Yumi when she was in Painter's world because all those moments when she was interacting with Painter's friends, I think those moments are precious, especially those noodle bars moments. They are great. I love the bonding between them. I love how Yumi stand up for the painter. The plot twist by the end of the story, ooh, it's like in my heart, I nearly scream, Yumi! So this book, Yumi and the Nightmare Painter, would definitely be on the top list of my favorite books. The next tag is about your disappointing reads. If you have watched my recent videos, you would definitely know the answer, which is What the River Knows by Isabel Albéniz. This book is a historical fantasy which set in the 19th century Egypt, in which we follow a girl from Argentina called Ines who want to investigate her parents' mysterious death over in Egypt. I found that the things that happened in the book didn't quite match with what actually is going on within the historical context. For example, the woman's status at that time, and also Ines, our main character, is only 17 years old and she alone travel from Argentina to Egypt for weeks on a ship and then alone in Cairo, which I think a little bit off for me. And the other thing I find it not appealing to me is the romance in this book. Ines meets her romantic encounter called Wheat, but I think their relationships are based on sarcastic conversation and life-threatening moments to build up the relationship between them, and I find them a little bit not convincing enough for me. This is a book that I didn't quite enjoy in this year. There is another book that I didn't quite gel with, and I didn't make any video about it because it is my current read, and it is Against All Gods by Miles Cameron. It is an adult epic fantasy, and by the title of the books you can see gods, and they roughly based on the Greek ones, and we follow a rebellious group of characters. They are human, and because of different reasons they hate the gods, so they fight against them. What I think I didn't get on with is the pacing of the book. It is really slow. Every chapter is just too long for me, and they can go up to over 40 pages, and we may be just focusing on one single POV. After a chapter, we will switch to another stranger's POVs, which has nothing to do with the previous one. They may be just living in the same place or the same event taking place around them. Also, there's like interludes about the heaven where the gods are, and there are lots of gods to remember. I know that in the beginning of the book you have the glossary of names and titles, but there are just too many gods and too many humans. With so many characters, with so long chapters, it is hard for me to find a character to root for, because not until second half of the book we're gonna see them again, and I find that quite strange to me. So unfortunately, Against All Gods by Miles Cameron is another disappointing read to me. The fifth tag is the series you want to keep on reading. There may be a lot for you, or even for me, so I narrowed it down to two series I definitely don't want to miss next year. The first one, of course, is The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan. I am 8 books in, and there's no reason for me to stop here because I don't want to start it again. I don't want to be in a position to reread it from the very first book. I know that the next 2 books may be the most boring ones in this series, and I am a little bit scared about it. I will definitely let you know how I feel, so don't miss out my Instagram. After those 2 books, I think the pacing, everything is back to normal or even the best ever. So fingers crossed. The next series I definitely don't want to miss out is the Cunnius Trilogy by James Islington. Last month I finished The Shadow of What Was Lost, and I am a big fan of this book because there are so many secrets, there's so many layers of everything, and I just couldn't wait to read the second book and the third book. I'm shocked by the ending, I'm shocked by all the plot twists by the end of it. I can't wait to pick up the next book because I want to see what actually is going on, what is the truth, what's your purpose, what is everything. So the next tag is your favorite and least favorite special editions or spray etched. I find that this tag is a bit special because nowadays even Waterstones can do a really nice spray etched special editions for the new releases. Also, the book subscriptions already bring their A game up. In terms of my favorite spray etched special editions, without a doubt, it is the Garden of Empire by J.T. Greathouse. I won't talk much about what this book is about because this tag is about the special editions. This is a Ghostbra 2022 one, and I only got it in this year. I love the color choice here. The purple really makes the spray etch to stand out, and you can see this actually represents all the gods in the series, and this one is just beautiful. In terms of my least favorite, I would normally say the ones with only one color on, just like a one color spray etch. That is my least favorite because it looks boring. My answer may surprise you because my least favorite is, again, The Yumi and the Nightmare Painter by Brenda Sanderson. This is a Waterstones editions, and you may ask why I don't like it. Because of this. If you have read the book, you will already know that Painter used bamboo to attract the nightmares and hunt them down. But why you pick up thorns for it? The color is fine for me because I may associate it with the Neon Knights, with Painter's World, but why thorns? I can't really understand. If you want to do the spray etch, I think the illustrations here are better in terms of spray edge, but really? The next tag is about your favorite book subscription book. This tag is especially for those who do book subscription and find a book that you really like. And this time we're not talking about the spray edge, not talking about the art, we're talking about the book itself. My pick is The Gilded Crown by Marian Gordon. It is a Goldsboro November pick. I think this book do deserve some more attention. This book is about a girl called Hellifer who got the power to bring someone or some animals back to life by trading with a black suited mysterious figure called Death. With this special, rare, powerful ability, the queen asked Hellifer to protect the princess called Sullivan from any possible threats. If there's anything happen to Sullivan, Hellifer will use this power to bring the princess back to life. In the meantime, Hellifer tried to find out who wanna kill the princess so that one day she could be free from this duty. I love this book because every character in here is so memorable. I love their development, I love their relationships. They are dynamic, they're interesting. I have already done a more detailed review video about this, so if you're interested, you may want to check that out. So the last tag is about your 2024 goal. Firstly, I would like to keep up with all the series I've started, especially those two I've mentioned earlier, The Wheel of Time and the Lecanis trilogy. I would also like to read roughly around 4 books a month. I know that 4 books a month is not a big number at all, but it is a number that I feel comfortable with. I think that I am able to achieve, and also because I mainly read fantasy books sometimes, like the Stormlight Archive. They can go up to over 1,000 pages. It is a number that I am confident with. So in 2024, fingers crossed, I hope that I could finish by calculation 48 books. And the next thing is, finally, I may got a bookcase. So hopefully you won't see this dull background anymore. And I would like to set that up with you. So make sure you subscribe to my channel so you won't miss it. On YouTube, hopefully I could at least upload 1 video a week. There may be about TBR, there may be a wrap up of the month, there may be about the books I finished and a detailed review, maybe some interesting tags like this one. Hopefully you may got more than 1 video sometimes so I can keep you entertained. So these are all the tags I've created to review our reading in this year 2023. Let me know the answers in the comment section. If you have done so well, hopefully you can keep it up. If you didn't perform as expected, we can work it out together. If you have enjoyed today's video, make sure you give it a like. If you don't want to miss any content from me, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I will see you in 2024. Goodbye.